Right. Listen up, you donkeys. You want to smash a keto diet, but your life's busier than my restaurant on a Friday night? Well, stop with the excuses because I'm about to show you how to meal prep like a culinary commando. We're talking 5 quick, simple recipes that even a donkey could handle. Meal prepping is your secret weapon for keto success. Perfectly portioned, keto-friendly meals ready to rock and roll whenever you are. Get ready to conquer your week with flavor and kiss those carb cravings goodbye. First up, we're tackling those bloody brilliant keto egg muffins. They're simple, packed with protein, and you can customize them more ways than you can insult a bad chef. Start by whisking together a dozen eggs with a splash of cream. None of that skim milk rubbish. Season it up with salt, pepper, and maybe a pinch of cayenne if you like a bit of a kick. Chop up some veggies, onions, peppers, spinach, mushrooms, whatever you fancy. Got some leftover bacon or sausage from breakfast? Dice it up and chuck it in. Mix it all up with the egg mixture. Grease up your muffin tin, and for God's sake, use butter, not that nasty spray oil. Pour the egg mixture into the muffin tins, filling them about 2/3 full. Pop them in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 Celsius, for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until they're set and slightly golden on top. Once cool, store in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 4 days. Next up, we're taking on cauliflower fried rice. Yeah, you heard me right. Cauliflower fried rice. And before you start whining like a baby, trust me on this one. Grab yourself a head of cauliflower and blitz it in a food processor until it resembles rice. Don't have a food processor? Grate it using the largest holes on a box grater, you lazy sod. Heat up some oil. Avocado oil or coconut oil are your best bets. In a large skillet or wok over medium-high heat. Add in your rice and stir fry for about 5 to 7 minutes or until it's tender crisp. Whisk together a quick sauce with soy sauce, or tamari for a gluten-free option, sesame oil, ginger, and a touch of garlic. Pour that over the cauliflower rice, toss to coat, and cook for another minute or 2. Top it off with some chopped scallions and a sprinkle of sesame seeds, and you've got yourself a restaurant-worthy side dish. It's a bloody brilliant low-carb swap for your favorite Chinese takeout. Now let's talk chicken salad. This ain't your grandma's chicken salad, all right? We're ditching the bread and the sugary mayo and replacing them with healthy fats and flavor that'll knock your socks off. Start with cooked chicken, grilled, roasted, poached, whatever you fancy. Shred it up or chop it into bite-sized pieces. Instead of mayo, we're using a combination of avocado mayo and full-fat Greek yogurt. Trust me, it's the perfect balance of creamy and tangy. Add in some chopped celery for crunch, some red onion for bite, and a handful of chopped walnuts for texture. Season it up with salt, pepper, and a squeeze of lemon juice to brighten things up. Give it a good mix and taste it. If it needs more flavor, add a pinch of garlic powder or onion powder. You can eat this chicken salad straight up with a spoon, or serve it in lettuce cups for a lighter option. It's also great stuffed into bell peppers or piled high on top of a bed of greens. Next on the menu is zucchini noodles with pesto. Zoodles, as the fancy folks call them, are a brilliant low-carb substitute for pasta, and they're surprisingly versatile. Grab yourself a couple of zucchinis and a spiralizer. Don't have a spiralizer? Use a vegetable peeler to create long, thin ribbons. You can also find pre-spiralized zucchini noodles at most supermarkets these days. Blitz together fresh basil, pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper in a food processor until smooth. Taste it and adjust the seasoning as needed. To cook the zoodles, simply heat up a bit of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. Add in the zoodles and sauté for just a couple of minutes, or until they're heated through and slightly tender. Don't overcook them, or they'll turn to mush. Toss the cooked zoodles with the pesto and you're good to go. You can serve this dish warm or cold, and it's great as a light lunch or dinner. Homemade pesto is so much better than store-bought if you have the time. Finally, we're finishing things off with a classic bacon-wrapped asparagus. It's simple, it's delicious, and it's the perfect way to use up any leftover bacon you might have. Start by trimming the woody ends off your asparagus spears. Lay out a few slices of bacon on a cutting board and cut them in half crosswise. Wrap each asparagus spear with a half slice of bacon, stretching the bacon slightly as you wrap. Place the bacon-wrapped asparagus spears on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Bake in a preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius, for 10 to 15 minutes or until the bacon is cooked through and crispy. These little beauties are delicious hot or cold, and they make a great side dish for any meal. You can also pack them up for lunch the next day. They're just as good cold. There you have it, you bunch of numpties. 5 keto meal prep recipes that are so easy, even you lot can't mess them up. Now stop making excuses and get in that bloody kitchen. Meal prepping is the key to staying on track with your keto diet, especially when you're busier than a one-armed chef in a pie-throwing contest. So what are you waiting for? Get off your backside and start prepping. And remember, if your food's not cooked properly, you're not just a disappointment to yourself, you're a disappointment to me.